So your higher rankings, you get more people because you got more links. So it's a popularity contest. So using Google is one way of doing that to build your community. Other sites like StumbleUpon and Delicious and other smaller types of blogs, they will there are discovery sites out there that will allow you to find new content and new communities based on your likes and dislikes. And so StumbleUpon is just another one of these really interesting things that have sprouted up that you can help find content through the sharing of bookmarks, the sharing of information. Just like if how many of you use Netflix? Right? Do you ever use the movies I'll recommend or whatever those things are? They'll recommend movies to you based on your previous stuff. That's sort of like what this is. So it'll find sites for you that, based on what they know of you, are going to find more relevant sites for you. So that's just another way of discovering sites. They're going to open new minds. Form partnerships. This is something that you could, and this is just, who knows, but YouTube and Jobster. Okay, Jobster is a place in the site for smart individuals to find a job, and YouTube is a place for videos, right? So what they've done is they've done a cross-promotion or an unlikely partnership where you've got YouTube videos inside Jobster. When you click on YouTube, which I don't know if it'll work or not, but you click on the video post, and that will play. We don't have to do that. Okay, maybe we will.
This is in Jobster?
This is in Jobster. They're cross-promoting. They're
for food.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. But he's basically talking about how great he is. And it's good. I mean, what he's saying is real. He's saying it in such a way that it's not contrived. He's using that instead of a resume. Okay? That is what will win. If you're a hiring manager and you see that versus a resume, who are you going to hire? Because you know a little bit more about this guy now because it's an enhanced resume, right? So think of unlikely partnerships or forming partnerships with other companies that are non-competing. Yes?
Why do you think that's less contrived than a resume?
I think it's because they're showing who they are and they're opening themselves up to you. And a resume, it's very easy to lie. It's very easy to just make up some stuff, put on some words, and throw it on a piece of paper, and there you go. But here, you're seeing the human voice. You're seeing him as he's in his day-to-day activities. Yeah, there may be some stage stuff that's happening behind the scenes, but overall, you get a sense about this person, more meta information than you would from a resume.
Do you actually think you're getting a sense of who he actually is versus who he wants you to think he actually is, though?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. When I saw that guy, I said, if I was a hiring manager, I'd hire him, just because of.
The case of a recent thing where I don't know how many people saw it, but a fellow named Alexei Boehner or something like that from Yale posted something like this, and it was just absolutely ludicrous. Just as contrived as you would find with a resume.
Was a resume?
11-minute year.
Yeah.
And did it turn out to be real?
I mean, he was a real guy, but I mean, it was something that was presented in a forum like this here, but it was, as it turned out, it was less authentic than it.
Okay, well.
Sure.
But isn't it funny that our a priori thought is to trust whatever is in print and to trust what's on the web? Whereas if someone, if one of you came up to me and said, I've been building Google's online community for them for the last 15 years. I know I'm 20, but they hired me when I was young. And I'd like to TA this class for you. I mean, I take it with a grain of salt. Likewise with the YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably take it with a grain of salt. You know the rateyourprofessor.com, ratemyprofessor.com? Any of you ever use that site? So there's a site called ratemyprofessor.com. Put that hand down, I don't want to know about it. And there was a scandal last year where it turned out that a faculty member was slamming a colleague of his, pretending to be the college student, because he thought that only some of them would get tenure. And so he wrote about how terrible his colleague's class was. What an idiot, unique IP address. Can anybody say your computer can be traced? And so they traced him down and they fired the guy. It was a quick way out of a university job. But we do have a tendency to believe things if we see them on the web. And I wonder whether that's a holdover from before Web 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
That it's experts who write things on the web, and it's no longer experts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just
That's a
also
good
like
point.
to add
That's a
that,
great point.
back on the job stuff.
Yeah.
I've read a ton of articles about how employers increasingly go to your Facebook or MySpace profile in addition to looking at your resume to figure out
I
who you
do.
are.
Absolutely. If I'm going to interview somebody and I go through that process, I'm going to look them up on Google. And I'm going to see where they've been and what they're up to. Absolutely. Last slide, final, 5 takeaways, hopefully, is catering is good. Catering to the community is what you want it to do. Look for niche opportunities because they're easier to go after. Keep your design simple and straightforward. CRAP is good, contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity. And then the more members you build will help build your community. As you get more, you're going to get more. And mind share. And that's all I have. Thank you so much.
Questions?
Yes. Well, you raised your hand first, so I'm sorry.
I just, you said your opinion was that, like, you think that it's, like, because people want to have honest conversations and stuff that the internet and being online all the time is getting so popular. But I don't know, I feel like, and what the professor said, too, like, I don't know, I feel like at least our generation, like, is becoming more aware of, like, the fact that there are a lot of false things online. Like she was saying, like, you take things with a grain of salt, like, I think we do that, like, a lot more, like, now. I don't know if that's, like, I don't know if there's research that's been done in that area, like, about people, like, believing things they see online or not, but I was wondering, like, if you knew, like, anything about that.
I sure
If
don't.
your, like, opinion came from a specific place or research or something.
No, I just know. How many of you lie on resumes? You won't. Okay. Everyone lies. Okay. It's probably no different from using the web. They fluff it up, right? So I think that it's easy to lie on a resume because no one's going to really check it out. But if you have it on like a video, or if you're using something along those lines, or you're saying it enough times, it has to be true, right? If enough Helens say something, is it true? If enough people believe something, is it true? Yeah.
I just like it because you can say, like, great interpersonal communication skills, and if you have a video that demonstrates that you're
That's great.
communicator,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about the validity of your resume. I think it'd be cool to attach, like, an introduction of yourself, like, or to videotape a cover letter, rather.
Mm-hmm.
That, I think, like,
That could be great. But what? And let's look at Jobster. Jobster's mission is to find jobs for you. Okay? And I think one way to do that is to enhance the experience by not just giving them a cover letter, but something of greater value. And that's something that the interviewer is going to see you or feel you in such a way that they would not have otherwise. Yes?
I'm going to be a bit contrarian here, but given how many companies and corporations filter their resumes using HR people before they actually get to the desk of somebody who can actually make a decision,
Mm-hmm.
is this actually, I mean, is this an advantage or just a waste of time, I'm wondering?
Who knows? Who knows? I mean, depending on who you're marketing to, if you want to work for big companies with HR, it may be a complete waste of time. If you want to work for boutique firms like myself,
Besides applying for a job for someone like Google or Yahoo, would this be something to do, or would this be a waste of time? If I'm just
here's the thing.
trying to get in.
Here's the thing. I got an email from a guy a couple of days ago, probably a week or two ago. He says when you Google his name, the Department of Justice prosecuted him because he was a pirate. He would sell online videos and Xbox mod chips and all that stuff. So it's still coming up. And every time he says, I went to the interview. I aced the interview. I mean, this was a good job for him. And then he says, everything went well. We're going to contact you 2 days later. He doesn't get the job. And this happens consistently.
So why doesn't he bring it up in the interviews?
Right? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to bring up the fact. So he contacted me and said, how do I get my name off of that? Google. Right? And I said, how much money do you have? But the thing is like, he's going to have to go through that every single interview. Because even if you're interviewing with HR or your direct hiring manager, they're going to do that. It may not be